lot can happen in 7 months' time, but one 10-year-old has done more since July than many people do in a lifetime. She's moved thousands of miles to live in another country, learned a new language, seen snow, and gone to public school for the very first time. It's an adoption story marked with years of painful waiting, but now with making up for lost time. WSLS 10's Bethany Teague joins us now in the studio with more. Bethany?
Tom and Whitney Blazak of Christiansburg went to Ethiopia on a missions trip in 2012, not even thinking at all about adoption. But then, out of nowhere, a little 6-year-old girl crawled into their laps and began to sing with them. She followed them everywhere, and when it was time for them to return to America, she begged them to come back. It was then they knew this girl was meant to be a part of their family. That sparked a seemingly endless battle to bring her home. But little did they know, once they finally realized their dreams of getting her, their journey was only getting started.
Life has gotten a lot busier, a lot more vibrant, a lot more fun.
The contagious laughter. The daily rhythm of sisters bonding.
She just has a zeal for life.
And of course, the frequent solo. These are all new sounds that remind the Blazak family of its newest member, one they thought may never come home.
It's just surreal. I'm baffled, by it, that she's just there and here, and this is actually real.
Tom and Whitney Blazak, along with their 3 daughters, Sydney, KK, and Taylor, fought lies, international corruption, and government red tape for more than 4 years to adopt this girl from Ethiopia, whose name at the time was Tigist.
It was like we had a daughter in Africa, and we were here, and we couldn't get to her.
During the waiting period, they weren't allowed to use her real name, so they called her Hope, something they never gave up, no matter how slim their chances of adoption seemed.
That feeling never left. She was ours from the day we met her.
Whitney chronicled their often painful journey on a blog called Relentless Love. Finally, in July of 2016, as an almost 10-year-old, Tigist came home. It seemed like the perfect ending to the struggle of a lifetime to make their family complete. Tigist became Tigist Sophia Hope Blazak. She decided she wanted to go by her new middle name and/or nicknames to start her new life.
Sophia, Sophie, Fifi, like that name.
But soon after the adrenaline of bringing home a new daughter began to wear off,
even though we had known her for 4 years, we didn't know her. We didn't know the ins and outs.
Real life abruptly set in. Sophia had come home to a country and a family whose language and culture were anything but familiar.
I'm talking just a little English.
It was hard, though, when you couldn't talk back to us, wasn't it? Was it harder?
Yeah.
Sophia knew virtually no English, making every moment a struggle for everyone just to get by.
Showing her items,
Charades,
certain types of food,
acting things out. I mean, it really was a lot of that,
But it wasn't as fun as charades. Like, when you're playing charades, you're like playing a game and competing. This was more like, oh my gosh, what do I do here?
It's like survival.
Yeah.
The fourth sister's new place in the family required constant work and also meant a new place for the first 3 sisters. Sydney, who for 6 years was the firstborn, was suddenly no longer the oldest.
We're putting all this effort into Sophia, and I think there was a little feeling left out, or just like she didn't get any attention anymore.
There was also the mystery of Sophia's life before them. Tom and Whitney knew she came from a village called Cora, where residents lived off of a trash dump. But they didn't know the depth of her scars or how helpless they would feel as parents until one night she began to open up about private nightmares from a past without parents.
I was crying and I was holding her and rocking her and, you know, telling her I loved her and I was so sorry for the things that had happened before. And, you know, there was nothing I could do about it. You know, I can't fix it.
It was times like this, where the tears never seemed to dry, that the Blazaks resolved to love Sophia as relentlessly at home as they had when she was an ocean away.
I cried myself to sleep that night and was broken in a new way and felt this deep, you know, desire to be her mom and to be that love that she didn't have before.
For Sophia, that feeling is mutual.
I love Mommy and Daddy.
The bond and the perseverance opened up a world of firsts for Sophia, firsts that remind Tom and Whitney why they fought so hard. Little things like waking up to a winter wonderland.
No!
Or finally getting a birthday party.
Nada, and eat cake, and then my favorite food is pizza, and everybody come.
And even playing basketball.
She throws it up, and even if it's an air ball, she's just coming back smiling like it was the greatest thing.
That spirit, evidenced by an ever-present smile, now fuels her dream to one day become a worship singer.
Singing is like worship God, and I like worship God.
It didn't take long for this joy to steal the hearts of unsure sisters.
Hi! Hey, come on.
She wanted to be like a...
Bam! Bam!
It's easy to love her.
And the hearts of just about everyone she meets.
You think that going through what she'd gone through, that joy would be taken away, but it's like, literally, it's in her.
It was a love story that began thousands of miles apart.
There's no way she should be here right now. It's all about what God has done.
A relentless pursuit of hope that brought Sophia hope to their living room. And where the separation ended, the real journey is only beginning.
People say, oh, she's so lucky to have you. And I'm like, no, we are lucky to have her.
Well, Sophia is now enjoying her first public school experience. She tried soccer, but says basketball is now her favorite sport. And the sisters all agree their favorite things to do together are drawing, sledding in the snow, and of course, as you just heard plenty of, singing. In the studio, Bethany Teague, WSLS 10.